going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Payne Plays Games videos. Alright guys, one thing that a lot of you have been asking is, hey Payne, besides solo leveling Arise, what are you currently playing? Can you give us a little bit of review on each of these games, how free to play friendly they are, how pay to win they are you still interested in them, and what is upcoming that you are going to be also covering on your channel? So let's talk a little bit about that. Now I'm going to do a comparison. I am playing multiple games just so you guys are aware. I've gone through quite a few of them. Brand new gachas drop every single day, as you guys probably are aware if you go on the Play Store or the Apple Store. There's always a brand new gacha that's coming out. Ones that I'm interested in, I give a chance. If it doesn't work out, I just drop it, right? And a lot of these games I don't actually cover on my channel, but I do want to talk about the best game that I'm currently playing. So we're going to rank them from the most free-to-play friendly to the most pay-to-win to the best game, and ones that I would highly recommend you guys try, or at least try playing if you are interested in the genre of gacha gaming. All right, so let's start off with, we'll save the best for last. All right, we're going to save the best for last. So we're going to start off with the newest addition to Netmarble's repertoire here. I'm going to launch it right now, and that is actually going to be King Arthur Legends Rise. So real quick, I'm going to get out of this. We're going to log into that, and we're going to go ahead and cover that first. Alright folks, welcome to the first game we're going to cover, King Arthur Legends Rise, currently in beta under Netmarble's launcher app. You can actually download it also on your mobile phone and play this game. I will say two things about this game. Number one, graphically looks phenomenal. Number two, will eat up your battery like no tomorrow, so get ready for that. Now, a couple things I want to talk about. First off, what is this game about? Obviously the legend of King Arthur, following Arthur Pendragon, and also going through the whole story of saving Britain, where he's fighting other, leaders of various kingdoms, etc., and also at the same time trying to stop Morgan from resurrecting the dead and taking over all of Britain under her own control. So the game does feature quite a few different things. There's a little bit of a city builder aspect to it, where you guys can build things in your city, which is Camelot in this case, and then you guys can level up stuff in your city and also acquire certain things such as resources. You can craft armor, you can level up armor, change stats on armor, you can get yourself materials, a summoning section, and do some training here as well too, plus a market and a theater to retell the epic story in case you missed it. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on in this game that you guys can do. Now, couple things to note about this. All right, it's mainly a turn-based gacha. Now, I'm going to show you guys there is a story mode to play right over here, where you do follow the main story, which goes over essentially all of Arthur's missions to stop the heinous Morgan and save the kingdom. Cool thing about it is it is 3-star based. In that case, like, you have to get 3 stars to get yourself the maximum rewards, and the rewards are actually pretty generous. I will say this game is heavily pay to win. And not in a sense where you can't play free to play. The one unique thing about this game that I do love, and I will say this, is every character matters. Whether it's uncommon, common characters, rare characters, legendary characters. There are no epic characters that go straight from rare over to legendary. Now the beauty of this game is every character can do a different set of skills based on their relics. Okay, so relics are the weapons that they possess, and every relic can be acquired through the summoning relic section, and they are essentially giving you the ability to use any character to do elemental damage with wind, frost, and fire. All right, so you guys can change your whole format and follow the storyline, and use the same units as long as you have them. So every unit can be used in this game with no issue. So for example, you guys can see here Morgan is ice element, right? In this fight, you guys can see I need 2 ice element units. So for example, Merlin, I only have the ice element frost right there, so I'm going to leave that on there. For this chick right here, Clementine, I have fire and ice. So I'm going to switch this over to ice. Now her actual skills also change. You guys can see here the skills are going to be a little bit different based on the unit that you use. The numbers are a little bit different. The actual overall effects are a little bit different. Okay, so depending on the units that you're using, see Morgan here, I have fire fire and wind, sorry. And then right here, if I want to switch over, for example, let's say I want to take this person out, I want to put in, let's say Arthur. We'll put in Arthur, right? Arthur has all 3 Excalibur swords. I'm going to put wind on this one as well too, and you guys can see now we have a team that not only meets the requirements of 2 frost heroes right there. So the heroes themselves don't have the element, it's the weapons that have them, the relics. Now we also have two units here that have the actual attack abilities. Now it is stamina based. You guys can see this fight will take 5 stamina. I've got 303 right now. These are the power requirements. So 1370 versus 15 is me, and then these are the drops you get for first time. So you can get yourself equipment, and equipment of course will have various different sets that do different things. So the game as follows is a turn-based RPG. I'll show you guys how it works. Again, graphically, I love the graphics on this game. It's exactly what I like to see: realistic, medieval, etc. Right? So bosses have massive health bars. Enemies have elements. You can go ×1 battle to do different skills. You can go ×2, ×3, depending on how much you want to, increase your speed or watch the actions. There is a speed bar over here, a turn bar I should say, that tells you who goes next, and you can change the camera angle a little bit if you want to see different views on your enemies and how they're attacked. All right, so there you guys go. That essentially is the battle system. Again, elements, there are certain elements that will take advantage. For example, wind is stronger against frost. Frost is strong against fire, and then fire, of course, is strong against wind. And then we have ourselves different ailments. So buffs are blue, debuffs are red. There's healers, there are DPS, there are tanks, and a whole lot of characters. And like I mentioned, this is one of the only games where common characters are actually very, very powerful. Now, where does it get free to play and where does it get pay to win? So the free to play aspect of it, I will say, is very, very hard to justify, because this game does require a lot of dupes, and I'm talking about a lot of dupes to get your characters to max out advancements. Now, that's not required. You can definitely play the game without it, but there is a PvP element to the game, which makes it, of course, a lot more whaley. And you know that if you whale in a game like this, you're definitely going to have a massive advantage. There is no fair PvP. It's just whoever has the most power will win the war, essentially, right, or the battle. So it is very, very daunting in that regard. And if you are used to a PvP game that is a little more fair, this is not going to be one of them. So do I recommend this game? Absolutely. I think the story is fantastic. The cool thing about this as well too is once you've done the story mode, there's an adventure mode where you can go back to these maps and try to get 100% on them, and find treasures, advance the stories, get more side quests, and it becomes more of an MMO adventure than anything else. But overall, I'd say highly recommend giving this a try at the very least to see if it is up your alley. Now, I've spent roughly about $100 on this game so far, so I'm not free to play on this account, but I did play this game in beta, so it's not something that I'm not versed in. So here's some of the packages. For example, $139 for some summon packages, $139 here. There's $27.99 for another package. There's some level up ones here. So there's ones where you fight the boss. And by the way, there are a lot of bosses here you can fight against. There's achievements. You can get yourself a lot of resources from just getting achievements out of the way, which is fairly easy to do. Gold, just like solo leveling Arise, is a major problem in this game, even for whales. It's very costly to level up equipment. But overall, like I said, the game itself plays really, really well. The bosses are fantastic looking. There's a lot of different content to do, and there's a ton of time you can spend on this game just playing, leveling up, and just exploring new characters, building teams, and overall having a blast doing so. All right, so there you guys go. This is just a quick example of a fight I'll show you guys real quick that you guys can, of course, explore yourself. But this is a boss who actually drops EXP bottles, right? So if I want to repeat this battle, for example, I can put this on, start it up, and you guys will see here the boss comes out. And there's different strategies for every boss, right? For example, this boss has an arm where he throws stones at you. If you break his arm off, the stones no longer are being used, so the skill set changes a little bit, and you have to adapt the strategy. He also does dots. You bring a character who can remove dots, so things like that are a big deal in these kind of games. So overall, I will say that there is no limited currency, which is kind of nice as well, just so everyone is aware. Most of the currencies can be used, but it is your diamonds are limited to where you can use them, unfortunately. So for example, if you're pulling for relics, you can't use diamonds for relics. You have to actually acquire you have to acquire relic tokens, which you can get through the game by playing, through events by playing, or by buying. So your diamonds don't take you all the way across the board. When it comes down to summoning, there are certain things you will not be able to get just because the game doesn't make diamonds the be-all end-all kind of gacha system. All right, so there you guys have it. There's King Arthur for you in a nutshell. We're gonna jump over now to Lord of Nazar and talk about that a little bit. You're gonna find some similarities to both games, different style of graphics, different style of obviously IP, but overall very, very similar gameplay and similar look and feel in regards to how they actually function with their currencies as well as their difficulty and their free-to-play aspect. So King Arthur overall, fairly pay to win. Fun game, absolutely. Would I give it a try? For sure. You should try it. Let me know what you guys think if you do try it. Let's move on to Lords of Nazar. Alright folks, we're back here. So, Lord of Nazar, that's the next game on the list. Now, this one here is a little bit more free-to-play friendly, still is fairly pay-to-win, but the beauty of this game is there's a lot of ways to get certain tokens, and they give you quite a few events out there in order to do so. On top of that, there really isn't a token you can't buy using your regular diamonds, and those things come pretty plenty. The problem with this game, of course, is the stamina is very, very small, but also that could be a good thing for a lot of people who are busy like myself. And there are certain things in this game that are fairly difficult to get. So overall, this is not a heavy pay to win game, but at the same time can be very heavy. As you guys can see, the UI is very cluttered. I'm not a big fan of this. This happens in a lot of RPG games that are very similar to this, where they just come out with a UI that looks like it, you know, was made, I don't know, in the 70s. I'm just kidding. Obviously early 2000s. And this is one of those games where I have to admit it's just way too cluttered. They could have done a way better job with doing this. Also, where I said most of the summoning tokens can be procured through using diamonds, there are certain summoning tokens that cannot, though. These are more like outfits and stuff. Like, for example, Albedo's outfit over here. Let's see, if I want to get this, if I want to go like use these, I have to buy them. I can't actually use my diamonds here, or magic crystals in this case, to actually get additional tokens. So there are going to be certain elements in this game where you will have to pay. And you guys can see right here, for example, there's a limited moon mirror event that I can get. So if I want to get a few of these, I can. But overall, after this is done, you're kind of screwed, right? Those outfits are out the door. So those are kind of things to remember. I believe there's also the Supreme one here that you have to as well buy the summons. I don't think you can use it. Let me double check this. This one here, I believe, is also one that might be a little bit pay to win. Sorry, this is kind of a cool animation. And again, very similar to King Arthur in regards to the turn-based RPGs, team building aspect of it, right? But yeah, there you guys go. See, I have to also purchase this. So there are some things that are going to be strictly pay to win. Unfortunately, can't get away with it. So in that regard, it is similar to King Arthur in the sense that there are going to be packages that they're going to force you to buy. So pay to win players, if you are going to be true free to play, keep that in mind, that this is something that may cause you not to want to play these games. But for me overall, it wasn't a good reason to stop. The gameplay itself is fantastic. There are a lot of banners. I think this is kind of an issue as well. So there's these arc lights, which are essentially like not equipment, but like special cards you can equip on your characters to give them passives and skills, and each one will have their own dedicated. For example, the Sweetness Albedo will have Declaration of Love as hers, and if she has it equipped, she has the following moves that she can do when having more buffs than the target: nullify 20% of target's defense. General effect is, and this one anybody can use, by the way, general effect. So each crit allows active skills to deal more damage. I mean, this part is kind of crazy. There's a lot here going on. There's always a banner that's featuring a rate up character. There's always a banner that has the rate up characters Arclight. Then there's a new world summon, which is your basic summons, and then of course there's an Arclight of Dusk. Okay, so there's a lot going on. Then there's the summons for the Supreme one, which you just saw. Then there's summons for outfits. There's just a lot going on. But with that being said, the gameplay itself is pretty good, and I have to admit, it's overall a very fun game. So for example, you just got to click this. It'll take you out to the open world. The open world usually is, you know, explorable. You can see there's certain mobs out there. You can find treasure chests. You can explore the towns and find little missions to grab along the way. There's like the main missions right there. You can see the exclamation marks on them. And then when you get into a main mission, there's of course the storyline that goes along with it as well. And then with the story is usually a battle with a boss, whatever the case may be. Now, in terms of characters, as mentioned, there's SSR characters, SR characters, and then there's rare characters. I'll be honest with you, same as King Arthur, every character is valid. Every character can do something fun. Every character can be advanced through another. Like for example, if you max out this guy's star up section, right, you can actually move them up even further, go into the next SR level. Actually, I don't know if rares can do that. They probably can. But I know, for example, SSR or SRs can, in fact, go into becoming SSRs. And then SSR characters can go, I think, to UR, if I recall. So there's going to be a lot of leveling up characters and getting dupes. So that's going to be a very costly portion. Plus, there's skills and passives that are locked behind that as well. So keep that in the back of your mind when you are thinking of playing this. And then there's a skill tree here to upgrade your stats, get yourself character new moves, etc. Right? So a lot going on in this game in regards to the way the characters function. There are three elements. Actually, there's five elements. There's fire. There's red, green, blue, and then I believe there's light and dark. So keep that. Light and dark, I haven't had a chance to try yet, but That's something also that's very common in most RPGs. And then they're tier based. So not only do you have to get accessories to tier up your characters, but you also have to get relics, which is equipment. And you guys can see equipment have sets and certain RNG stats they can get. And then when you level up those stats, there's also another layer of RNG here that can give you a grade, and then a grade follows a number behind it. And at the same time, again, leveling up skills, starting up characters, which requires a lot of dupes. And then these are the arc lights I was referring to. Okay, so you guys can see arc lights also require leveling up and gearing at the same time. So when it comes down to this game, there's a lot of stuff to do for free. There's a lot of exploration. There's a lot of fun battles. The main problem with the game is, of course, how heavily pay to win I feel like it's going to get, especially because PvP does exist just like King Arthur in this game, and there is no fair PvP. It's literally PvP whales versus anybody, right? And again, when it comes down to that, it's always going to be who spends the most will usually end up winning because their characters are overpowered. But overall, guys, that should not deter you from playing the game. Again, there's really cool modes here. There's a quest mode that'll give you guys all the quests you need to do to get your dailies out of the way, resort quest, challenge quest, etc. There's also story mode. Of course, you guys are watching. Of course, there's the arena as mentioned. There's a ranked arena and a qualifying round duel arena that's currently going on in progress right now. You guys can see new season, qualifying rounds, etc. You guys can match yourselves and play real matchmaking. There's joint raids here where you can fight certain bosses with other people, and that's going to require you to hopefully have some whale friends that can help you out. And then the cool thing about this one, I'll show you guys a match real quick. So let's just show you. You guys can use characters. So you see the entire squad here. So DPS. I'm going to go ahead and put mine as DPS, and then you guys can see as a team we can go in and try to, you know, win the battle against this specific boss. So I'll go as ready here, and let's just see what happens. I'm curious to see if we can actually beat this boss at level 39. And it's cool because it allows you to play with friends in this kind of mode, but at the same time, again, it's a game where you do your dailies, you try to grind as much as you can. Once stamina is over, you stop. There's a guild mechanism as well too, where you and your guilds will do tasks, and you guys get points, and you guys can spend those points in the shop. Overall, though, the game is a lot of fun. It's very similar to King Arthur in regards to, again, the look and feel in terms of the way it plays, but obviously the graphics are completely different. One is animated, and one is full on like realistic fantasy, right? So you guys can see here's some of the battles that's going on. I'll show you guys real quick how it works. Right here, I think this is next. We'll be coming up very soon, hopefully. Do our skill. And the supers look kind of cool. They're cute. Some of them are cute. Some of them look badass. So it all depends on, you know, it all depends on who you're using, the character you have. Here, I can put this on auto and just let it do its own thing. So this is one of the best tanks in the game. Again, I am playing this. I'm not making a lot of videos on it. I am playing this. But overall, I'm very hesitant on putting any form of money into this game. I've only spent $5 so far. And quite honestly, I did it because the first top-up gives you Shell Tier, and a free SSR character, or not free, I guess, an SSR character. If you spend any currency, it could be $1. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get her, test her, and see what happens, and then see what other packages come along the way. And then after that package came in like a $10 package, and then after that package came a $27.99 package. So I had somebody just go in and kind of tell me what were all the packages that you could buy. So this game also has a spending ranking. So the more you spend, the more you get. Keep that in the back of your head when you are planning to play this. If you're free to play, this can get pay to win very fast. All right, guys, let's jump on to the next game. All right, everybody, like I said, saving the best for last. That's right, Solo Leveling Arise is currently, and will probably be for a very long time, the mainstay game on this channel, and for good reasons. This is one of the most, if not the most, friendly free-to-play game I've ever played, and I've got 15 years under my belt of gacha gaming. And I'll be honest, there are some that are just as good from a free-to-play perspective, but I think from a game play perspective, from a skill perspective, and also just uniqueness and the fact that I just love the game and the community, I don't think anything comes even close to Solo Leveling Arise. From the actual character themselves, to the main hero, from the skills all the way to the weapons, from the dev team, the communication, the freebies, the constant events, and release of new content. This game gets stale very seldom. very seldom. And usually those stale times is something that we are actually excited about because it gives us time to go play some catch up because there's always brand new content being dropped. It's coming up to the 6-month anniversary, guys, with the introduction of Thomas Andre, which is probably the most sought after and hyped unit coming out. The first National Hunter is being released. Plus, if you are interested in the game, I highly recommend going to check out my brand new Ultimate Beginner's Guide that I created last month for you guys, which will not include some of the newer things that have just been released recently, but I have videos on all that as well too. With over almost 800 videos on this game, I can tell you now my passion runs deep. You guys probably know this, but there's nothing better than SLA on the market right now. I'm more than confident to say it. So if you are going to be playing any game on this list, I highly recommend giving Solo Leveling Arise a try. It is action RPG, keep that in mind. So if you are an idle player, somebody who enjoys, you know, just watching the game play on its own, this is not going to be the game for you. This game like involves heavy effort and time, and it's absolutely worthwhile. From the crazy game modes where we go through story, reverse, hard modes, to the Hunter Archives, to doing encore missions, to instances, gates, the game stays true to the anime, to the manhwa, and also introduces a brand new world that they're attaching to it and growing every single day. The current event, the Creepy Pumpkin Festival, is going on as well too. So Halloween event is happening, but the 6-month anniversary comes out in 3 days, guys. Actually 2 days, November 7th. And I cannot wait to see what they have planned. They're giving us free characters, free weapons, a ton of summoning tickets, and again, the introduction of Thomas Andre. So if you are looking for in my opinion, the best gacha game on the market, plus a AAA gacha game, and yes, believe it or not, some of those will exist. Take a look at Honkai Star Rail, Solo Leveling Arise, etc. This is the one to go with. Now, I will preface this: it's the perfect gacha though, but far from perfect. All right, there are a lot of bugs still that are going on for mobile gamers specifically, where mobile gamers are having a hard time playing the game. Some of them are lagging. But if you are a PC player or somebody who wants to eventually play it on Steam, or somebody who's going to eventually play it on console in 2025, or overall have a very good, strong device that you can play this on, you will love this game. One of the best on the market, if not the best on the market. Solo Leveling Arise, highly recommended, guys. From the action to the freebies to the free-to-play, by far the friendliest free-to-play game I've ever played in my life. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one. Jujutsu Kaisen comes out in 2 days as well, just so everyone is aware of that. That'll be another game that's going to be on the list. Some of you guys have been asking about Starseed. I've actually already dropped that game because it got really boring really fast. There's only so much TNA can do for you. Eventually you just get kind of sick and tired of the gameplay. But Jujutsu Kaisen is going to be something that we're going to definitely test and play globally, because I have a Japanese account that I play for quite some time, and that game is also fairly free-to-play friendly. So we'll talk more about that when that comes out on November 7th, so please join me live when I cover that game as well. Alright guys, this is Payne. Thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.